The crypto world is exploding with speculation after reports and discussions online suggested that Russia may be moving closer toward recognizing blockchain payment infrastructure tied to XRP and Ripple technology. While headlines across social media are calling it Russia making XRP official, the reality is more complicated, and that is exactly why the story is gaining so much attention around the world. Over the last several years, Russia has been actively exploring alternatives to traditional international payment systems. Economic sanctions, restrictions on cross-border banking access, and increasing pressure from Western financial systems have pushed Russian institutions to search for faster and more independent settlement solutions. Because of that, blockchain technology has entered the conversation at a much larger scale than before. Many crypto analysts believe XRP is one of the few digital assets designed specifically for international liquidity and fast settlement between institutions. Ripple has spent years positioning its infrastructure as a bridge between traditional banking systems and modern blockchain-based payments. This is one of the main reasons why every time a country begins discussing alternative payment rails, the XRP community immediately pays attention. Now, recent discussions surrounding Russia's financial strategy have reignited speculation that XRP-related technology could eventually play a role in cross-border settlement discussions. Some reports suggest Russian financial entities are becoming more open to blockchain integration, while others believe the country is simply researching all available technologies to reduce dependency on traditional global payment systems. It is important to understand that no official announcement has confirmed XRP becoming a national currency or officially replacing existing banking systems. However, that has not stopped excitement from spreading across social media, where many investors are interpreting Russia's growing interest in blockchain infrastructure as a bullish signal for Ripple and XRP. Part of the reason this narrative is gaining momentum is because XRP was specifically built for high-speed international transfers. Transactions settle in seconds, costs remain relatively low, and liquidity movement across borders can happen much faster compared to legacy systems. Supporters argue that this functionality becomes extremely attractive for countries seeking alternatives to slower financial networks. At the same time, critics warn that social media headlines often exaggerate developments long before governments make concrete decisions. In the crypto market, speculation can spread rapidly, creating major price volatility and emotional reactions from investors. That is why many analysts are encouraging people to separate hype from confirmed policy changes. Still, there is no denying that geopolitical shifts are changing how governments think about digital finance. Countries around the world are now exploring blockchain technology not only as an investment opportunity, but as part of larger economic and strategic plans. From central bank digital currencies to tokenized financial systems, the conversation has evolved far beyond simple cryptocurrency trading. Russia's exploration of blockchain solutions reflects this broader global trend. Financial independence, faster settlement systems, and alternatives to traditional payment networks are becoming increasingly important topics for governments facing economic pressure and international restrictions. Meanwhile, Ripple continues expanding partnerships and discussions worldwide. The company has consistently positioned itself as a provider of enterprise-grade blockchain solutions for institutions and payment providers. Because of this, XRP supporters believe that any major shift toward blockchain-based settlement systems could indirectly benefit the XRP ecosystem. Another reason investors are watching this story closely is because institutional adoption has long been considered one of the biggest catalysts for the crypto market. Retail enthusiasm can create temporary momentum, but large-scale institutional integration is often viewed as a foundation for long-term utility and sustainability. If more countries begin experimenting with blockchain-based settlement infrastructure, it could accelerate the legitimacy of digital assets in global finance. That does not necessarily mean every country will adopt XRP specifically, but it does reinforce the idea that blockchain technology itself is becoming increasingly difficult for governments to ignore. The current speculation surrounding Russia and XRP also reflects a larger narrative happening across the financial world. Nations are reevaluating how money moves internationally, how reserves are managed, and how technological infrastructure could reshape global payments over the next decade. For crypto investors, this creates both excitement and uncertainty. On one hand, Adoption headlines can fuel optimism and attract new attention to the market. On the other hand, geopolitical developments are extremely complex and often unpredictable. Policy discussions do not always translate into immediate implementation. Still, the fact that XRP continues appearing in conversations about institutional settlement systems demonstrates how strongly the asset is associated with cross-border finance. Whether bullish narratives fully materialize or not, XRP remains one of the few cryptocurrencies consistently discussed in relation to banking infrastructure and payment modernization. As the story develops, investors are expected to closely monitor official statements, financial partnerships, and regulatory signals coming from both Russia and the broader international community. Because in today's financial environment, even the possibility of blockchain integration at the government level can quickly become a major market-moving narrative. One of the biggest reasons the Russia and XRP narrative has exploded online is because of growing global interest in alternatives to traditional financial infrastructure. For decades, international payments have relied heavily on centralized systems that process transactions through multiple intermediaries. These systems can be expensive, slow, and vulnerable to geopolitical pressure. As economic tensions increase globally, countries are beginning to explore technologies that could reduce dependency on legacy payment networks. Blockchain has naturally become part of this discussion because it allows value to move digitally with greater speed and transparency. XRP has often been at the center of these conversations due to Ripple's long-standing focus on international settlement. Unlike many cryptocurrencies that market themselves primarily as decentralized stores of value, XRP has consistently been associated with liquidity movement and payment efficiency. Supporters of XRP argue that its speed and low transaction costs make it suitable for institutional-grade payment systems. This is why speculation intensifies whenever governments or central banks begin discussing modernization of financial infrastructure. Russia's interest in blockchain technology is not happening in isolation. Across the world, multiple countries are researching central bank digital currencies, tokenization, and blockchain-based payment solutions. Some governments are experimenting with pilot programs, while others are studying how digital settlement systems could improve economic resilience. Because of this global shift, many investors believe the future of finance could involve a combination of traditional banking systems and blockchain technology working together rather than competing directly. At the same time, financial regulators remain cautious. Governments want innovation, but they also want oversight, stability, and control over monetary systems. This creates a complicated balancing act between embracing technology and maintaining regulatory authority. That is why stories connecting XRP to national financial infrastructure create so much excitement in the crypto community. Investors see these developments as signs that blockchain utility may finally be moving beyond speculation and into real-world implementation. However, analysts continue reminding traders that rumors and social media excitement should not be confused with confirmed government policy. Crypto markets are highly emotional, and narratives can spread much faster than official announcements. Still, even speculation can influence market sentiment because it reflects changing attitudes toward digital assets at the institutional level. A few years ago, many governments openly dismissed cryptocurrencies. Today, the conversation has shifted toward regulation, integration, and strategic adoption. This transformation is one of the main reasons why XRP supporters remain highly optimistic about the long-term future of blockchain-based financial systems.